Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. There are a couple of new raid promo codes in February. First, there is a promo code for all players. The code is MIDLOVE, and this code is going to give you 100 motor battles, 15 XP brews, 150,000 silver, and 200 energy. And this is available also for existing players. There are also some sweet codes available for new players. In particular, there is a brand new one for Razelvarg, the GOFAST promo code. So if you want to start a new raid account, thank you Raid Shadows for sponsoring this video, you can do it with this link and also get Razelvarg. So down below in the description there in the QR code, start raid with 3 legendary champions and 3 top tier epic champions. So with this link you get Tholin Foulbeard after the tutorial, a wonderful DPS, and then you can add another wonderful DPS if you go for the GOFAST code for Razelvarg, although you can also get a support void legendary with DESERTQUEEN code for Tuhanarak. And as a 7-day login bonus during the Assassin's Creed collaboration you get Ezio Auditore. And then you will get Rector Drath, Venomage and Uugo, 3 top tier epic champions on top of this for a wonderful start to raid. So why would you want to pick Razelvarg? Razelvarg is a wonderful damage dealer. He has a triple hit A1, so really great for Fire Knight, for example, and both his A2 and A3 are AoE abilities, so he's going to hit hard and he's going to hit wide. He scales with both attack and speed, and Razelvarg is possibly the fastest champion in raid, because his passive ability is going to grant him +5 speed every time he buffs the speed of his team up to 100 extra speed. Razelvarg brings Leech, he brings increased speed, so +30% increased speed, and then all that extra speed once you have him 3-star ascended for the passive ability, and increased accuracy, and he also brings an all battles 20% speed aura, so that also works in CGs, that works in arena, that works everywhere. So potentially Razelvarg can be the strongest damage dealer you can start the game with. He has like the highest cap. But as a downside, Razelvarg does need gear because he scales with both attack and with speed. So if you compare him to Tholin, for example, in order to equal Tholin's A3, the big Tholin's AoE attack, Razelvarg would need to have the same attack and 250 speed. But do note that Razelvarg does bring that speed aura and the increased speed buff, and then he gets that extra speed from his 3-star ascension. But if you're doing this, for example, in campaign farming, well, then the increased speed, there won't be much time to do that. It only gets in one phase. There won't be time to get the extra speed from the ascension either. While Tholin, on the other hand, is going to self-buff his attack. So yeah, it is kind of hard for Razelvarg to overtake Tholin for quite some time, but eventually Razelvarg will deal more damage than Tholin. Razelvarg and Tholin can also have synergies together, because Tholin brings Weaken and Razelvarg brings Leech, Speed and Accuracy, so they don't have any overlapping buffs or debuffs, so they can just be your two speedy damage dealers, and both of them also smashing a lot of AoE damage. So there's also some synergies there. So I made a new account using my link and then played 1 day of that new account with Razelvarg, with Tholin, Rector Drath, Venomage, picked Kale as my starter. And for example, here is what my dealt to Demon Lord on day 1 of the account: 1.64 million damage to easy Demon Lord. Okay, yeah, of course, that's not much. I didn't get any good gear, because you get a bunch of gear from the Apprentice Pass, but I low rolled everything. I didn't get any of the good main stats. But this is kind of instructive, this image, because note how Tholin is better with poor gear than with Razelvarg. Razelvarg really needs both attack and speed, and then he will start to get better and better and better, and eventually he will overtake Tholin. But it's going to take some time. Also, right now, level 50, both of them, no ascension yet, nothing important going on, and Tholin can farm the normal campaign, the 12-6 normal campaign. Razelvarg takes more than a minute to do it. Tholin takes like 20-30 seconds. So Tholin is far better so far, for example, also in campaign farming, than Razelvarg is. And of course, once they get actually some gear, then well, Tholin is first going to get much stronger than Razelvarg, and then eventually Razelvarg can overtake him. And another thing to note is how Kale here has dealt more damage than either of these legendary champions. Kale is just that good. And it also has to do with the game mechanics, because poison damage only depends on the maximum health of the enemy. Kale deals a whole bunch of poison damage, and of course we also have Venomage here. Venomage is activating those Kale poisons, and therefore potentially even increasing Kale's damage, and it shows up as Kale's damage. So Kale with that poison damage is very good when you don't have any gear. But as soon as you start to get even a little bit of gear, Tholin is going to overtake Kale quite quickly. I have played Tholin accounts before, and that's going to happen. But right at the start, the poisons are better than just raw damage. And then Razelvarg is going to overtake Tholin later on. So very early on, when you don't have any gear yet, performance is actually completely reversed from what it's going to be with good gear. Kale first, then Tholin, then Razelvarg, whereas it's going to be Razelvarg, Tholin, and Kale. So should you take Razelvarg? I think Tuhanarak Tholin is still a better combo. Tholin does bring so much damage, but Razelvarg is definitely an option. Although once you have pretty poor gear, then Tholin is probably still going to be your first campaign farmer, because you just don't have the gear for Razelvarg to really shine, and you will be able to get Tholin into a farming shape easier. But it all depends also on what kind of rolls do you get, and like when there's going to be a Forge Pass for sale. Forge Pass is going to be key to so many things, because once you buy a Forge Pass, you get a bunch of gear. You can equip this group of champions with a single Forge Pass and just skyrocket your performance. And then Razelvarg is probably also going to overtake Tholin at that point. So yeah, interesting option available with Razelvarg, also with powerful speed aura. So if you want to start raid right now, then this is one potentially powerful option to do it. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.